Hello, my beautiful people. So let's talk about how I got clean and sober. So, for over 45 years, drugs and alcohol destroyed my life, stole my soul, and made me behave in a way that I'm ashamed of. I'm not proud to admit I've done some pretty shitty things in a bid to get money to score. I used to steal all my booze, so I didn't need money for that. Rob dealers, but you can only rob people, dealers, so much before nobody will even pick up the phone to you or come and meet you because they know what you're going to do. So for many, 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 many years, I thought I was trying to get clean and sober, but I wasn't really. I was going through the motions because it's what I had to do, it's what I was advised to do, it's what I knew I should do. I was getting pressured by my mum, by my dad, by friends and family, by social services, by the schools, employers, everything. And I was going through the motions and then deceiving everyone. Still having sessions and all that, but not asking, not borrowing money off my mum. So she would instantly think I must be behaving. The way I got clean and sober is I made a decision, a final decision. I had to address my life and what I was playing at because I really, really took the piss out of my daughter. A couple of days before she went on holiday, I borrowed money for a sofa, and instead of paying it back weekly, she asked me to hold on to it to give it to her to take on holiday as spending money, and she took the kids away. I thought I'd put by a bit of money I had with my son. Long story short, what had happened is I dipped it a couple of times for the grandkids' birthdays, and they're present in their card, 50 quid a time plus going out. And I'd not accounted for that at all, I'd forgotten completely. So I got paid double bubble the day before, and I thought in my head, I'm going to go in, I'm going to have such a session, I'm going to blow my mind. I've got Leah's money, she's going to be going away, I've got the place to myself, no one's going to fucking catch me, I'm on it. So on it I got. Then I sent my son a message saying, can you bring out that money, Leah's money for me? I've got to give her the money for the holiday. So he takes it back and says, how much do you think you've got in there, Mum? So I told him. And he went, did you forget about dipping it to go for the kids' birthdays and that? And I had. And I went, oh, fuck. By which time I had already massively overspent on crack. I'd probably already at that point, in the 12 hours since I'd been paid, spent about 500 quid. And I knew I hadn't finished smoking, so I had a little bit left. And it was fucking horrible, mate. It was horrible. I felt so bad. The guilt I felt over that, and because she was so nice about it, she didn't do her nut. I'd have rather she said, you mother's cunt or something, but she never. She said, oh, not to worry, don't worry, we'll deal with it, it'll be okay. Just rest, look after yourself and let me know that you're all right. I can't explain to you how that made me feel as a human being and as a mother and a grandmother. I felt like a shit cunt. I felt like a low-down, dirty piece of shit. And that's what I was. Well, that's what I was behaving like. And I knew that weekend, because I spent whatever else I had left, which was about 250 quid, left myself potless, knowing I was going to go to sleep for about a good week because I couldn't face the world. Obviously, I needed to catch up on sleep. I've been awake for days at that point. And I knew also the fact that I'd fucked my daughter over was going to make me take to my bed because I couldn't face it. And that's when I sat in that chair and I made a decision. I looked at the crack on the table. I looked at the pipe. And I thought, really? What, that is more important than your beautiful daughter, than your beautiful grandkids? How fucking dare you, you scummy cunt. Oh, it was so shameful. And that really gave me the kick up the arse that was required. So I said, right, I'm not smoking anymore. That's it, I'm done. I'm not smoking. But I carried on drinking. And then inevitably, a few weeks later, I'm 3 or 4 bottles of Prosecco in and a couple of these, I call them hooligans, these really strong beers. And I start flicking through my phone, looking for the fucking dealer's text. And I did it even though I knew I didn't want to, even though I knew I shouldn't, even though I was a scumbag. I still did it. But it was horrible. I sat and pissed myself on the sofa while I was piping because I was too greedy to get up and leave the fucking table and leave the drugs that were in front of me to go and fucking empty my bladder. What a fucking tramp. And so I knew I had to stop drinking. So really, for me, it was that feeling that I was troubled with over what I'd done to my daughter and the kids and they're spending money for the holiday, coupled with no more drink, because the drink was a huge trigger. For those of you that drink and take drugs, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Drink is a massive trigger because all the goodwill in the world is fantastic, and you've got these goals that you've set and you're going to stick to, and I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. Let's get alcohol involved, and that goes out the fucking window. I'm telling you, that's why I had to get clean and sober. Sober and clean. I had to get sober in order to carry on being clean. For me, they bounced off each other, and I know that that's common. So there'll be loads of you out there that'll be fine if on a Friday night. But if you start on the beers, you're going to think, should we have a cheeky packet? Let's have a bit of nose bag. Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, you're in a 3-day session. Phone up fucking turned off and all that, sitting in the room, not wanting anyone to disturb you. Especially if you've progressed onto crack. If you're washing up the coke or scoring rocks, I can tell you, and you know it yourself, you're at the bottom. You can't go any lower, really. People think heroin is lower. It fucking ain't. It ain't. Yes, right. It's a very confused message because heroin is physically addictive and you have to go through serious, detox, and take something in place of it to try and keep you from folding and from fucking being in so much agony. But you can only smoke so much heroin before you are completely unconscious and you're on the floor and you can't take anymore. Crack doesn't have that line of prevention because you can just keep smoking. The same sniff. Keep sniffing until you can't sniff anything up your nose. But crack's worse because you can keep smoking. And as long as you do you know what I mean? It doesn't, with sniff, it eventually fucking doesn't even go up your fucking nose. Do you know what I mean? But once you're washing it up or buying it in rocks, it's a different story. So for me, getting clean and sober was about tuning in to how I really felt about the drug itself and avoiding alcohol. Because the avoidance of alcohol meant I was much more in control of my feelings and my mind and my boundaries. So because I was clearing of alcohol, I didn't have those vulnerable moments where I think, have a little flick, it won't hurt. Because it does hurt. You bullshit yourself, you lie to yourself, and then you spend the next X amount of time after you've indulged feeling like absolute crap. And I'm telling you now, this feeling of clean and sober, I cannot promote it enough. Listen, I got texts yesterday, I could pick up the phone and fucking score right this minute. Nobody's here, no one would know. I would know. I would fucking know. And I would, all of a sudden, I know what I'm like. If I did that, I would disengage from everybody because I can't be a hypocrite. So if I'm indulging, I'm not going to come on here and tell you, I'm clean and sober. I just ain't going to do that. Anyway, guys, if you're trying to do it, find the strength, believe in yourself, it's paramount, and just make that decision. Make that decision, your mind is in control. Stay blessed and stay strong.